next thing we need to do then is get our image into Dreamweaver. Now we can't just copy and paste an image and we can't just go and insert it. We need to edit it before it goes in here. And what we need to do is make sure that it's the right dimensions, in other words the right width and height for the space that we've got, but also that it's the right file type and file size. Now I've made my page 1024 pixels wide, so I want my picture to be a percentage of that, and you need to make sure you work like this. So 25% of 1024 will be 256, 50% will be 512, and so on. Don't forget, this is not a maths test, so you can go into accessories and use your calculator if you need to. So I've got a space here which is 512 pixels wide. So the picture that I'm going to use is this one here. Now if I click onto that picture, you can see the width there is 3,997. Way too big, much bigger than my page. And the file size is 3.6 megabytes, which is huge. So I'm going to change this. So in Fireworks, I'm going to make a new document which is the size that I want. So I'm going to make this 512 pixels wide. And for the height doesn't matter as much, but you don't want to do it too deep, otherwise your page will scroll. For the purposes of this, I'm going to make it the same. So 512 by 512, and I'm going to press OK. What I can then do is I can find that folder. If I move this to the side, I can drag that into Fireworks. Now, if I zoom out, which is Control and minus, you can see how much bigger that is. What I'm going to do is I'm going to move this around and scale it. Now, when I scale it, I'm going to use the scale tool here, and I'm always going to hold Shift so that I don't distort the picture. If you don't hold Shift, you will squash it or stretch it. So even if it means you have to lose part of the picture, which is the case here, it's better to do that than to end up distorting it. So I'm going to decide which bit I want, so that's about right for me. And now I need to export this. So I need to go to File, Export Wizard. And I need to click on Target Export File Size. Now you'll need to check with the criteria what your maximum file size can be. For this, I'm going to use 300, and I'm going to press Continue. Select the web and press Continue, and you'll get a little pop-up box with two versions of the picture once you've pressed Exit on here. And you'll see at the top, it tells you the file type. So this one at the top here is a JPEG, this one at the bottom here is a GIF. If you want to use a different file type, you can choose it from here. So for example, if you wanted to use PNG, if it was what was specified in the criteria, always start with PNG 32 to begin with. That's the best quality. Now you can see here, look, that's too big. So I can drop that down to PNG 24, still too big. I can drop it down to PNG 8, and in this case, that's fine. So when I'm happy with that, I press Export. I tell it where I want it to go to. Find the folder where you want it. Give it a name, and then press Save. Back into Dreamweaver then, and click into the cell where you want your picture to appear. We're going to go to Insert, and this time we're going to go to Image. We only use image objects for navbars. Insert Image, find the file that you want to use. There it is. Press OK, and then you're going to ask for this alt text. Now you must put alt text in, so this is a very basic description. So give it a very basic description. Press OK, and that will add your picture in. And you can see, look, that's perfectly sized for my page. Now you can see my text move down here, so what I can actually do is I can select this cell, and I can choose horizontal, and I can, vertical, and I can align that to the top so it fits.